is January 4th, 2025. This is our first podcast of the new year.
Mm-hmm.
These guys went buck wild on New Year's Eve.
Yes.
So,
yeah, we might not have came back the same.
Different people.
That's okay.
Yeah. Shed that 2024 skin and leave it behind.
Yeah. Shit got shedded for sure.
You definitely left a carapace behind.
That's good.
And went scurrying off into the night.
It's fun.
That's
with
good.
The vampires.
Yeah, with the vampires. Yeah, Happy New Year's. 2025 is going to be big. We never went over King of the Table 13 results.
Yep.
So we're going to go over those. We had, I guess the first one was Lachlan. This isn't in order, but on the site that I'm using, we had Lachlan versus Lars.
Yeah.
Lachlan 4-1.
And I thought Lars' hand was going to be some kind of something to play in it. I thought his press might be something to play in it. And Lachlan was just too strong.
Yeah.
Right? He met him in the middle.
Yeah. I kind of saw that coming.
Yeah.
I just think Lachlan's really, really strong.
Yeah.
And his wrists are...
It's crazy,
Yeah.
man.
He's still
crazy.
progressing, which is really
Man.
nice to see.
That's the beauty of the sport.
Yeah.
I mean, what do we see now next for that winner? Matt Mask?
Matt
That would
Mask.
be a really good match.
Yeah.
I think so.
Or Barbosa?
I'm tired of seeing Barbosa.
Not Matt.
I feel bad for Barbosa. I feel like he's definitely over the hill. But I think Matt's looking really good.
Yeah.
Well, this was recorded at light heavyweight. And Barbosa competed at heavyweight.
Yeah, but if Barbosa pulls at 242,
Yeah.
that's a really good spot for him.
Yeah.
What about... Oh, we can't get to that yet, but
Well,
it's too much right now. That guy's a freaking monster, man.
Yeah, I think that's a one-off.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
We'll get back to that.
Okay.
Let's go with the next fight.
Anyway, shouts out to Lachlan. That was sick.
Yeah.
Next, we have Kevin Palka versus Joseph Moranto.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were surprised.
I was like the only person in the gym that wasn't. But I mean, he's in everybody's eye, right? He makes a lot of videos. He's super strong. He trains with Uncle Todd.
And we knew they'd go inside.
Yeah, we knew that they would both go inside, turn that wrist over,
Joseph just
and
had
go
way
to
too
war.
much power.
He did.
You know?
He did. It was more power than I thought that he did have, but I thought he was going to take it anyway. But, you know, the first round when Kevin went in and he kind of held him.
It looked promising.
Yeah. It did.
looked
It did.
very
It
good
did.
for Kevin.
I was like, whoo, that's all right. That's kind of crazy. And then I don't know if that showmanship kind of made him lose his way.
Yeah.
But Joseph kind of took over from
Like,
there.
Kevin, you're not gassing out people on the street today.
No, not today. Yeah. So that was 4-1 in favor of Joseph.
So Joseph next would be...
Hey everybody, just wanted to take a moment to introduce you to Tier, one of our affiliate sponsors. I found Tier looking for some cross-training shoes, a nice, comfortable but supportive and stable shoe that I can use for weightlifting and competing. These CXT1s are the best shoe on the market. The heel support is fantastic, the midsole support is fantastic, and the toe box is awesome. Plenty of room to move your toes out so that you can create the best base possible for when you're lifting. These are super comfortable. I find myself wearing these all day long and forgetting to take them off because they're that comfortable. www.tier.com. We have a 20% off discount code that you can use. I believe that the most important part is your feet on the ground. So you want to have something that has a lot of grip, but is also stable and allows you to move with agility. CXT1s, get you a pair.
That's a tough one.
Let's see about who.
It has to be someone real small, and it has to be... Oh, man, I don't know. I'd like to see Joseph against Cody Wood.
Ooh,
That would be
okay.
what I would see.
That's actually that would be sick.
That's probably perfect.
That would be a perfect match.
And they're going to go inside too.
Oh yeah.
And can Cody just drag through him?
Right.
Cody Wood, where does he pull out of?
Well, Cody Wood's number one
Okay.
North America, left and right at this point. I mean, he hasn't gone through Hunter, I don't think.
Yeah.
But Hunter's moved up in weight, and I don't know if
Yeah.
you see him go back down. And Cody Wood, where does he pull out of?
I'm trying to pull it up
Midwest.
right now.
Okay.
Looks like with anyone to go to the tournament.
I guess Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina,
Right,
South
so
Carolina,
East South.
Alabama. Yeah, so he's
Southeast guy. He's a monster.
Monster.
He proves that pull-ups might be the most transitionable exercise to the sport.
How so?
He's just a pull-up monster. Crazy, super, super crazy.
Yeah.
Before arm wrestling, he was doing super crazy pull-ups that were weighted. Okay. And now to this day, it's easy. I mean, he could correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks to be the main thing he trains in general is weighted pull-ups.
Just weighted, not like something calisthenic.
No, just weighted. His wife or girlfriend, I'm not sure where they're at this point, would be a great match for you.
Mm.
Yeah. She's bigger than you, but it would be a takeable match for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think her name is Scarlett. They seem super, super nice, both of them.
Yeah. Yeah, they seem real. The first time I was introduced to Cody Wood was that 176 round robin?
154 round robin.
154 round robin.
Both? Did he do
I think he did both because
it would be
which one was that one?
Because he won the 54.
Yeah. Which event was that? Wasn't it Laray's event?
Yeah.
How many Super 64s have there been?
Well, we're not talking Super 64.
Yeah.
We're talking about Laray's round robin.
Tennessee round robin.
In Tennessee, so he did the 154.
Oh, he already beat Kevin Palco at 154.
In a round robin.
Yeah. He lost to Laray, Hunter, and Roman.
That was right-handed?
Yep.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
And he's come back now and beat Roman.
Okay. He pulls a lot. Yeah, he lost to Hunter again at 176 last year at Tri-State, Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Lost to Devin Bear, Alexander Koshadze. Is that guy out of Canada? And Dalton Duncan. I think this dude's out of Canada. Yeah, because that was the only event he pulled it.
That's the full guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, that would be, I think that would be a good match. I think that's something next for Joseph. Yeah, so shouts out to those guys.
Be a fun match to make. I know Cody's next match is actually against the...
Hey guys, want to introduce you to one of our affiliate sponsors, Psychopharma. Psychopharma is a supplement company. I think they make great supplements. I've been using their stimulant version pre-workout, Edge of Insanity. This is blue lemonade flavor. I also have the non-stim pump only Venerade. So it's called Edge of Pump. Fantastic. Both of these will give you extreme focus. Edge of Insanity will actually bring you to the edge of insanity. I wouldn't take this anywhere near 4 hours before you go to bed, or you're gonna be sitting there thinking about how you can take the world over off of the edge of insanity. We have a 20% affiliate code, and you should hit their website up, psychopharma.com. You'll be supporting us, and you'll be getting the craziest pumps of your life.
It's going to be on East vs. West, and it's against the guy that has the one crazy arm.
Arthur?
I don't know his real name. I know him as Hellboy. Maybe that's who he is.
That might be him.
There's only one guy I've ever seen like him. It's really crazy.
No.
You're not talking about Oleg Sock? No.
No. It's the only other one besides.
Okay, yeah, so it's Arthur.
Yeah. And they call him Hellboy.
The
Not
one
tall, skinny dude, is it?
No, the one who beat fuck. Not Daniel Prokopchuk. Who beat Daniel for the championship?
He beat that guy? He beat a guy who beat Daniel?
I think so.
That's a pretty tall.
Mindaugas. Didn't he beat Mindaugas?
What?
Really?
If I
gotta
I
see
don't
who
know.
this is.
That's the only other guy.
Matthias Schlitt?
Yes. Yeah, that's him.
Whoa! That's his next match?
That's his next match, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Who is it?
Matthias Schlitt.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a monster. Very, very interesting character to say the least. Crazy claw. But Cody's crazy. Cody's crazy strong.
Yeah.
His size at that weight class is bonkers.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a one-arm freak.
He's pretty ripped. You know, there's another guy that's really good with weighted pull-ups that we know here in Texas, and we've yet to see him really shine.
Who are we talking about?
With Bedwell.
Oh, you're talking Tanner.
Tanner.
Yeah.
Tanner.
That's good.
Yeah. And I think, you know, arm wrestling, when you're trying to transfer from one discipline of sport,
way sooner.
Yeah. It takes a lot. Like, if your brain can't make those neural pathways to apply your strength to the table,
It's a thing.
it's a problem. But if you can, like it seems Cody has been able to.
Tanner is doing a one-handed dead hang for 1 minute.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Both hands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Left and right. Yeah. And
Super crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
his transition is coming.
it's coming. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how that comes over because he's a full handful.
We should do this at practice. See how
What's
Yeah.
the next one?
Corey Wilson, Tobias Sprung.
Man, for me that was a surprise. I thought Corey was going to be great.
I think he had a lane, he just didn't stick to it. You know, for some reason he wasn't slipping out, and then when he got the slip, which was coming underneath, he didn't fucking do it again.
He got it, and I remember all of us were like, "Why would you not be going there again?"
Yeah.
Right.
And you got to assume too, train with Michael Todd. You train in the strap all the time, and maybe he gets under an illusion of, I don't want to be in the strap because I don't want to be in it with Michael Todd either. So I don't want to be in it with most people. And then you get in there with Tobias, and he was just fast.
Super fast.
I mean, rank speed one was
super fast. Yeah.
He took up so much real estate before the go was registered by both individuals.
Right.
I mean,
he was on top
the match. The match was starting like crunch.
Yeah. And I wonder if that has to do some with the fact that Tobias competes way more often.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely that.
Because Corey at one point, like, he started fast, and we were like, "Oh shit!" And he kind of blew through Tobias, and we were like, "Okay, there it is." But it didn't stay. He didn't continue. It was very inconsistent how he was arm wrestling, and I don't know if he was just uncomfortable. If it's Tobias, he competes all the time, so that's going to keep you the most fresh.
Right? It showed that he competes all the time.
Right. You know, these European guys are always at tournaments. You know, and the Europeans always have tournaments, so these guys are always.
I think if Matt Mask is going to compete at super heavyweight, him and Tobias would be fun.
That would be a good one. Yeah.
Although I'd like to see a lighter Matt Mask.
Yeah.
Him
at super.
Something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Which that's the next match. Oh, so Tobias won that match 4-2.
Yep.
Next match, Matt Mask and Marcio Barbosa.
Yeah. Domination.
Man,
that's amazing.
Domination.
His hand, his speed, his aggression.
Yeah.
That was
flawless.
Yeah.
Flawless.
Yeah.
Unless Marcio could get that to go inside and slow the match down, it's all just a wrap.
Yeah. It was hard. He got one. But that was a hard road for Marcio to even try to fight back.
Right?
Yeah, it's done. It's done.
Yeah,
it's done. It's done.
Yeah.
I don't think they need to do any more.
I'm with you.
Totally. Yeah. Matt's just up there. Still competing, still a beast. Took that 5-1. Next match, Sandra Setis and Rustam Babayev. Rustam Babayev, an absolute freak. Absolute freak. Like, what?
I wonder what they made for this match.
I don't know.
Undersized.
Like 172 pounds? Like, I don't know. He's so little.
Yeah.
Who's the other guy that is like a heavyweight, but he's super small? Damn it. I wish I had his name. But those two guys are phenoms in this sport.
You know what?
They're so little. And they make people arm wrestle they want it, the way that they want them to. It's like they just force it always inside.
Would be a cool match. I mean, I don't know if it'll happen. as him and David Samusha. I think that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's what
I
you're
did
talking
start
about.
with a D. Yeah.
I think that match right there would be amazing. And for no
no title, not just
no title,
to
just
see
to
him
see
go
these
out.
guys go. Yeah.
Crazy.
Ego match, yeah. They should call it that too.
Yeah, Rustum shows that the Bulgarians do something right. Like those Bulgarians we pulled in.
Bro.
Yeah.
Yes, it was Iskandar and I forget the other guy's name.
Super freaks coming from his camp.
Yeah.
He was there with them.
Right.
Yeah, just something different there in the food.
Yeah. The way that they're doing old school training.
Sanders was in great shape.
Yes, he was.
It wasn't the doughy Sanders.
No. He's leaned way out. I know he was coming back from some injuries, so it was good to see him back on the table anyway. But I think Rustum was a tall order. This is a special person,
Have
man.
you seen Sanders and Lachlan?
Yes.
And who won this?
Sanders.
Oof.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's pretty wicked, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Sanders and Matt Mask.
Sanders won.
Sanders beat Matt Mask.
Yep.
Oh, Lord. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It
That
is.
means Rustum is crazy.
Yeah, he's retarded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need Rustum and Marcio.
I mean, but that goes to show fucking Iraqli.
He weighed 99.
Iraqli must be on a different level right now.
He weighed 99 kg.
Yep. And Sanders was 105.
Close pounds.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was awesome to see. Love Sanders too. But
You
man,
can't take
that was
anything away from him. He just went against a fucking legend.
Yeah. That's just sometimes it's just how it goes.
Yeah.
Next match: Gabriela Vasconcelos and Barbora Bajikova.
That was probably my favorite match.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you got to see Gabby come fighting back.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a really cool match. It goes to show that she's not that far away. I think she should be given another chance
I agree.
against Barbora.
Oh no, that's 2 in a row.
Yeah, I think that ship has sailed also.
Yeah.
The problem we have with Barbora though is there's no one to beat Gabby,
Yeah.
and that means Barbora is a Levon away.
She's the mom. Yeah. And
Yeah, like we need to see her against Rustin.
essentially,
She'll put her against Auden, actually.
It's
yeah.
a joke that they actually don't display the weight of both women.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
They're girls.
It's interesting though, like women's arm wrestling has like 3 classes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Crazy.
you're either light, you're in the middle, or you're heavy.
Yeah.
And it's like,
But even
They just
if
look
but
at
it's
you and put you there.
yeah, they don't even weigh you. They're just like, you're lightweight.
Do you have a vagina? Okay.
Yeah. That's it. That's it.
That's great.
So Barbora took that 4-2. Gabby showed a lot of heart. She put it all out there. Kind of like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, like the next guy, Captain America over here, Paul Lynn and Krasimir Konstantinov.
Rough. It was
I mean,
It's crazy.
Crazy.
Krasy's crazy.
Wow,
That's
man.
what we learned.
Wow.
Krasy's crazy.
He's still pulling you across
I
fucking
mean, he
tape.
didn't even sweat.
Not at all.
Like,
Paul Lynn's teeth just aren't sharp enough yet for Krasy.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
been around
Yeah.
4 times longer.
Right. And you can see it. Like Krasy knew exactly where Paul wanted to go, and he defended it immediately.
Yeah.
It's just like,
from
no.
going to,
Where
the short amount of weapons that
Right.
Paul has.
Right.
Or someone like Krasy, as we're all learning now, as we learn, you start getting more tools.
Right. Tons of tools.
Right. And even if your tool is like from here to here, these are little changes that change your
Entire game.
repertoire.
And even if you're not good in those lanes, developing them to the max potential that you can, even though it's shitty, makes your game even better.
Because they counter a different lane much.
Right.
But even at 70% of what you're going to be, it just eats somebody else's very good lane alive.
Right. It does.
And we watched it in that match. Not that Krause didn't know what he was doing anywhere, because he probably knows what he's doing everywhere.
Yeah.
It looked like there was no place for Paul to go.
Right.
And no shit on Paul.
No shit on Paul.
Clearly a unit.
Yeah, 100% unit, trying as hard as he could. That was great. But Krause took that 4-0.
Yep.
Next match, Dave Chafee and Gabor Baraduka. Easy
back.
money.
Fuck yeah.
Easy money. Finally.
I think he should get another one like that.
Yeah.
Me too.
Has he gone against Tobias?
That would be.
Oh, no, I don't think they have yet.
Match.
Yeah, that would be a good match.
That would be a really good match. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
That would really test his hand too.
Yeah, I think that's
definitely.
You know what I mean? Because I think he needs a test for this next.
Yeah, cracking that wrist back. Yeah, he needs more matches like that instead of the Wolves.
Instead of going straight to the Wolves.
Yeah, he's got to. It seems like he's building his confidence back up. His training's getting back to where it needs to be.
Yeah.
It was great to see him. 4-0 over Gabor. Next match.
Strongman.
Yeah. I don't remember all of these matches. That's crazy. There were a ton of matches on this. Next match was Brian Shaw and Eddie Hall.
Yep.
Right?
Pretty good.
We thought it was going to be kind of gimmicky.
Yeah.
It went a little bit better than I thought it would.
I thought it was more fun. All the
It was way more fun. They actually looked like they were interested in fucking arm wrestling.
Agreed.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a con show for me.
Yeah.
Eddie Hall talking during it and all that.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
There's levels to how you do it, though.
Yeah.
If he had another year in the game, I think Eddie's a bigger problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the way he moved on the table and adjusted to things was way better than Brian Shaw. And I remember saying it on the last podcast that it looked like Eddie Hall's training by Neil Pickup was way better than Devin's. And Devin even admitted it to Eddie Hall.
Absolutely.
He was like, yeah, you guys trained way better. So that was fucking cool to see. And he was like, you gonna keep arm wrestling? And he was, Eddie was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep training.
Yeah, like he's got the bug.
Yeah. It's hard to not,
We need him to have the bug because he was very fun and
very fun. Yep.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of guys that enjoy that side of the game.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, he brought spice to the.
Do you think that's how he thinks arm wrestling should be, or do you think that's just?
I think that's it. That's his character.
I think that's his character.
I
Yeah.
talk shit up there, and I don't do it because I think it's how arm wrestling should be.
Yeah.
I'm just embracing the son of a bitch that's there.
Yeah, but he's so new, and it kind of was his first time being on the big screen, and so
That's that's the way he embraces the relationship between him and Brian.
Yeah.
And they
They go back and forth. Yeah. But it's never like hand-to-hand combat against each other.
Yeah.
And this is the first. So it's like when you touch another man and you're in a combat engaged, you can see what you really want to come out. Yeah.
And I
So
think
it
for a
was-
moment he was kind of in Brian's head.
Yeah.
There was a moment there.
Brian thought he was just going to go,
Yeah.
and it didn't go that way.
Yeah.
Luckily, Brian's such a big dude.
Such a huge,
So much of
strong.
his hand was punched past.
Yeah.
Oh, good luck
Good
hanging on to
luck.
that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Insane. Very cool.
Be fun to see them both, and if we could make a match for them both, is there a current arm wrestler it would be, or would it be a strongman?
Another strong man. What about that Norwegian arm strong man who still does arm wrestling? He's a little bit older.
Kiri something. Does he train with
that we've seen with Larry
Dennis.
Wheeler.
Yes.
he trains with Dennis, right?
Yeah, he does.
I don't know.
I think he's training with Dennis now.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, he's training with Dennis now.
Yep.
That would be
fun.
really cool.
That would be.
That would be
he
a
knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
that would be a really
That'd
good
be a
match.
fun match for even more.
I'd like to see Eddie Hall versus Larry Wheels.
Yeah.
That would be
There's some weird bad blood between them. They worked together as friends
interesting.
once, and then when Eddie Hall was going to fight Halfthorne, there was a picture of some sort posted by Larry of a hand to Larry, and he was like, "So how did because we're friends? How did the headless thing of me shine any positivity onto your friend about the match?" And Larry's like, I really just wanted to hype it up. And I get what Larry's saying. You wanted to hype the match, you want to make it fun. He's friends with Thor.
How Thor's balls taste in your mouth? Do they taste good?
How's the bicep?
Bicep's good, man.
Is it?
Really good, yeah.
So when you're ready for 10 grand to pay up, right?
No, I'm ready to take 10 grand off you. That's what's going to happen, man. It's a real deal. Can I just ask that post you put up with my head decapitated, yeah? What positivity at all whatsoever was aimed towards me when you did that? Can I ask?
The positive part is the one to hype the fight.
Okay.
Get the crowd going.
Yeah.
Eddie, I work with you in the class.
But where was the positivity towards me, considering we were good friends? And where was the positivity towards me? I'm asking you, man to man. Where was the positivity? If you're going to do that, without saying it up front, that to me is a kick in the dick, mate.
If you took serious offense to it, I apologize. That's not what I intended. I intended to stir up the pot, get some excitement going, make for a big match. I think it's really exciting.
All right.
And honestly, I just for the cameras. If I offended you, I'm sorry.
Well, you did. Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right. Apology accepted.
All right, brother.
Carry on sucking Thor's dick, and I'll look forward to taking 10 grand off you.
That 10 grand's mine, by the way.
It's not, mate. Anyway,
Go with the bicep.
see you in a bit. Thank you, man.
And yeah, Eddie was just pressed the pedal down.
Yeah.
Oh
And
boy.
was like, yeah, I just don't think.
I don't think that was cool, dude.
And essentially, Larry apologized.
How about we box now, Larry?
I think putting them in an arm wrestling match would be a good fun time.
Who do you think wins?
I think Eddie Hall's way crazy.
I think Eddie Hall beats him.
Yeah, regardless of having more time in the sport.
Yep.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
I think Eddie's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think he could be a problem.
Yeah.
I really do. So, but Brian Shaw won that 4-2.
And then what do you guys want for Brian Shaw?
I think I think that would be a great, because he hasn't competed at all either.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a good intro for him into a super match. You know,
I'd like to see Brian Shaw do some stuff stateside, some tournaments.
Me too.
Just some regular things that arm wrestlers do.
Yeah.
Like one of us,
Yep.
that would make him even more negotiable for the average guy.
Yeah.
The arm
and
wrestler.
likable, even more likable as an arm wrestler.
He could vlog the entire experience
Right.
via social media and help other guys that want to get involved in the sport understand what it's like to go train with a regular team. Like he could travel to North Carolina and go train with Hunter Nelson then one night.
Yep.
And film that whole experience.
Right.
And then do a tournament out there and film what it's like. Like, here's where the tournament's held. He goes into a place like Bombshells or maybe a PAL event.
Right.
This is Boom Hancock. He's a super inviting guy.
Yeah.
He kind of gets you safe. This is what the amateurs look like.
Right.
And they throw him right into the open. I think you'd be fine.
Yep.
And get that information out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what people are probably going to try to get him in is like Knuckles Up or something like that.
Definitely what's going to happen.
Which is
Or
good.
he's exclusive now to.
He might be. But it would be cool to see him at like what we would call a premier tournament.
Yeah.
Like Michigan State, like
Anything like that.
whatever. And any of these tournaments, Washington State,
Shows up to Texas State.
Texas State. And really get out there and show what he can do against the supers in North America.
Yeah, at a random event where who knows who's going to be there.
Yep.
That's one of the fun things. Like, there's guys out there that are like, oh, I don't really like competing in tournaments.
Crazy.
And all you're saying to me is, I am not aware of who's going to show. I don't know.
And I'm scared.
Yeah, and I'm
scared to death to compete.
Yeah.
And to me, there's nothing cooler than walking out of weigh-ins, coming in the next day.
Yeah.
You're getting ready for your event. You're scoping the rooms here. I got people that walk in, and I'm like, I came here for right? I'm here for Like, getting, like, when I went to Washington, going against Tim Lewis Lefty, I was like, yep, I'm here for this. Let me have that thing. Any of that. Brian Fry, I already researched on airs. Who's number one in Oregon? Who could pop in?
Right.
Oh, there's Brian Fry. Let me see you. And there I see Brian Fry.
He shows up.
Right? This stuff is fun.
Yes.
Going on airs, looking up by state who's the guys that could be there.
Right.
Then you can click their name. You can click and see like their last event, 26 and 12, and right hand 198.
Right.
I click that. Now I see their event. When's the last time they competed? Oh, he competed in Washington State last year. I'm
Right.
like, let's go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now I start getting excited. I
Absolutely.
might even go look for some footage. and
Right.
see how it
Yep,
feels.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
There's only a couple people I'm trying to headhunt. That's how I would travel, for sure.
Yeah, that's the best way to do tournaments.
For sure.
And it's always good to do tournaments because people will show up randomly.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people at Texas State that showed up, and nobody knew that those people were going to be there.
Great.
And we were like, "Oh shit!" And we saw the 198 class go. It was like, "Oh my goodness!" And people pulling across classes. We had that 154 guy that was pulling 98s. Animal, and you're like, "What?" And he got to feel what that was like, and he was like, "Wow." I don't even know how these 54s can hold on to this.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Also the energy of just the room itself and the pullers that come, they hold themselves accountable to their own word.
Right, 100%. Yeah.
It makes the whole game different.
100%.
Super match is like, oh, I think I can beat this person.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna nag at them
Yeah.
over Facebook and talk shit.
And,
Right.
and it'll be
You
a
get there.
super match, and neither one of
Yeah.
these guys has 20 matches.
And no one's in your corner, no one's there to support you because everyone's
Right.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the funniest part is these guys that don't pull tournaments but only pull super matches have like 10 matches in total.
Period.
And you're like,
Yeah.
what- like,
You've been in the game for like
it's
6
crazy.
years.
The
Yeah.
amount of experience you could get at tournaments would be so plentiful.
Even if it's
Yeah.
just your own state, there's
Right.
still people showing up that you're not pulling in your
Oh,
backyard.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the way to do it.
Yeah, it creates like getting tournament pullers together. I think super matches are super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love them too.
For guys that compete,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've seen each other in an event or two, and then you're like, we have some bad blood
Yeah,
here.
right.
Yeah. It's like
Now,
you
yeah.
have 4 matches against me. I have 4 matches against you.
Yeah.
We beat some
Then
guys.
maybe we should do
Yeah.
a super match.
Yeah. Or you
mean?
always get beat, but it's towards the tail end of the bracket. And you're
Exactly.
like, man, if I was a little bit more fresh, this shit might have been different.
Yeah.
And that's what super matches are for.
Well, that's
Now there's dust.
Yeah.
that's why I liked my super match.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
it was like, with Livingston, that was like, for me, that was like, this makes sense.
Yes.
You know what I
One
mean?
of the things Flashman was built around is
Yeah.
putting those kind of matches.
Yes.
Yeah.
The ones.
That we saw dipping around each other, or had people, he beat these people who beat him, and he beat these people who beat him, and it was like, there's a lot of
This
stuff
is a
in
good one. Yeah. I think it's important. Tournament polling's important. Next, would be Levon Sagnashvili versus Jerry Cataret.
Yeah. He went about it exactly the way I knew he was going to do.
Yeah.
Blocked it, turned it in, went to the side. Crazy.
It was so.
He made Big Daddy look like a baby.
Yeah.
You know.
That's
Yeah, I mean, I think Jerry absolutely agreed with. There's a level of strength gap there that is way greater than he could have imagined.
yeah.
Anyone imagines.
Than anyone imagines. Yeah. And it's when you grip up with him that it's humbling, and you go, all right,
This is going to happen.
Yeah.
freaky things in the jungle, man.
Yeah, it's crazy in arm wrestling, that feeling like when you touch somebody else's hand and you just know, like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, what
I
the
might
fuck
just
am
get
I supposed to do
destroyed.
with this? Yeah.
I might destroy.
I'm happy that you guys get to experience that though, because all I have to do is touch any of these 3.
And you're like,
For you, it's like grabbing Lee Aaron's hand.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like,
Exactly.
I threw you over the table last time.
Yeah, that's crazy. But knowing that you guys get to feel that
Yeah.
there is that apex predator in you.
yeah.
We feel that, but we feel that all the time.
Yeah,
I
all
felt
the
it from
time.
Dan Mosier.
Yeah.
Dan Mosier, when he closed his hand, I was like,
Aww.
what? Yeah, why are you excited?
Yeah.
I can't even
Why does your hand feel like this?
Exactly like that.
felt like a tool.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like it belonged on a human being.
Right. Yeah,
Which
this
is great, though. It's just great, right? Because then you start, your measuring stick gets a lot longer.
it does. It does. But, if you're that athletic, competitive person, your brain does something different, right? You're like, well, I need to level up.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like fight or flight. It's like you're either gonna lay down and be like, well, this shit ain't for me,
Yeah.
or this is definitely for me, and we're
Exactly.
gonna figure out how to get.
I just have to get a little better.
Yeah,
That's it.
And there's really I don't know any other sports that do that. And I've done all the grappling and martial arts. When you get punched by somebody, it's a little bit different, kicked, whatever. You grapple somebody, it's different. Because it's like if somebody's stronger than you in a grappling sport, well, all right, let's take your fucking legs out.
Exactly.
And it's a little bit different, you know. Yeah, same thing with striking.
Yeah.
You get hit, well, I'm just not going to let you hit me.
And
I'm going to try to slip every, you know.
Typically give up some speed.
Right,
you get
right.
caught with pop.
Right.
And pop, you're like,
Right.
oh,
Yeah.
we got to do something different here. I got to
right.
just smother your punches.
Right, yeah, you
This game
get it a little bit
is,
closer, whatever.
This game's also microseconds,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's
is kind
the
of
smallest movement,
Subtleties.
smallest amount of time. Yeah, tenths. Like everything is a tenth. You know, whether it's a tenth of an inch or a tenth of a second.
It's
like
so much faster.
It's so fast. Yeah.
And as you compete, I feel like, and I had said this to you early when you were starting, because I knew I could use jiu-jitsu to explain a lot of it to you.
Yeah.
But I was like, you'll be able to change your frame rate of thought as you get reps in.
Yes.
Right? And now what used to be like, all right, I'm just going to like do this. Now I'm like, and he catches me here and I move. It's like you're a mosquito, right? Seeing things.
It is. Well, it's like striking, right? The more you strike, the slower everything goes.
Yeah.
Right? And you start seeing those punches coming. Whereas when you first start, you're like, boom! What? Like your brain does not know how to work in that space.
Talking to her about striking, one of the things I used to tell you was like, when you just get used to hands coming at your face, it's such an abnormal reaction at first. And then once I kept going, it becomes super normal, your reaction. And normal reactions aren't like that. They're much more calculated. And same in the silly sport, right?
Same thing.
But
it's even smaller.
Such small windows.
It's tricky.
It's super tricky.
Time you're trying to deceive every person,
your
opponent, the ref, the audience, everyone.
Right.
And that's not.
Would you say that
really
deception
possible.
is of highest priority in the game?
Yes,
Depends on your level of strength.
Yes,
because strength can allow you to be less deceptive.
Exactly. Like if you look at John Berzing, John doesn't have to he won't do anything. You know, whereas you have someone like Devin who is
That's
not.
an interesting thought. So let's think about the thought here. If John went to the gym with me right now, I'm crushing him in every lift we do.
Yeah.
Probably besides things like this, they're probably really
Like
freaky.
tiny things.
Like going with Dimitri to the gym. Right? There's all these things that I'm way stronger, and then there's other things that it was like double my strength.
Right.
On the table, is it possible that John Berzink is extremely deceptive? And that deception is normal to him.
Yes.
So it's not like he's being tricky. Everything he does is so perfect that it deceives the average arm wrestler.
Well, that's why it's a yes and no answer.
I think he's more evasive than deceptive.
Like he can keep you outside of where he feels you're strong.
Right. Like his time management and movement is like before yours.
It's
like he can feel it. He's seeing out like 700 frames per second. Like he's just
playing
like,
3D chess while we're playing checkers.
Right. As soon as he feels just a little bit of a different turn, he's defending it immediately. And you're like, oh shit, you know, like that's what it looks like anyway.
It has to be that. Devin too. Devin clearly, obviously super strong.
But he makes you think he's doing something while doing something else because
which
he's
is
so
extreme
flexible
deception.
And getting the refs in, getting the audience in, and he's doing so many different. He's moving all the pawns at one time.
Well, he has to do that because in a lot of ways he has to. You know what I mean?
I think
he has to.
And I think he's weaker than most of the other guys in his weight classes he's been competing
for
in.
sure.
I think he's more deceptive than evasive. I think he forces people down a path. Like he pushes you towards that path more than other people do. You know, so it's like you have to be stronger than him, but he's more efficient. So it's like,
and he arm wrestles in the most efficient way.
100%.
As much hate could be around this.
It's
the most efficient.
Yep.
And once he's there, his job is to make all the other lanes easier
Yes.
by taxing that X.
Yep. And that's how he trains.
No. I was gonna say the cool part about Devin is that he's telling you this is exactly what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like
No one knows where it's going.
he's not trying
He
to.
clearly knows where it's going.
Yeah, he's not trying to trick you, and then you're like, but you're doing. And he's like, no. He's like, yeah, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
trying to take away your pronation.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get inside. I'm trying to supinate inside. I just want to climb.
Yeah.
You know, that's the cool part about
When
Devin.
he's doing that, he's making his opponent think of his own hand. So when he's like, look, my pinky's going inside, the person's like, yeah, he's doing that. He's like, but wait, what do I need to do? And then he gets frustrated. Now we have this whole fiasco.
Right.
I mean, I think at this point, at the highest level, everyone's peaked his game.
Yes.
And everyone wants to try and press on that pronation at the end.
Yeah.
We're going to see him and Michael Todd at this point, right? Can you continue to defend that move? And they have.
How
Yeah.
many
They have.
matches have those two had?
Oh,
Several.
man.
Several.
Yeah.
Thousands.
Yeah, I would imagine thousands. Or at least
That was still
hundreds.
full tournaments.
Yeah.
In 2022, or maybe it was 23, it was 23 when Michael Todd went and pulled the most tournaments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something crazy.
That's where he ripped his bicep, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now he's fully reattached.
Wicked.
And I heard an interesting argument about the bicep attachment from an arm wrestler who detached it last year, maybe mid last year, where the argument he was going over is once you have a bicep tear and it's reattached, it's harder to detach a second time because it's anchored directly to the bone in a different manner. And that manner is in such a way that it's harder to detach a second time. And that it takes an injury like that to become elite. And it would be interesting to know how many guys at the top have had
that.
Well,
Man.
a break like John Brzezinski when
Yeah.
you're young, or a bicep tear.
Yeah.
It's a lot of guys.
I think it's huge. When you look at Auden, didn't become good until he injured his arm.
So Auden had a
Right?
tear?
I think so.
No, I think he broke it. I think he broke his arm.
His right, right?
Arm
Yes.
wrestling.
Yeah.
When he
I
was young,
think so.
like 14 or
I think
something.
so.
Whoa, that would be
Yeah.
interesting to know.
Yeah. I think that's what he said.
I mean, I tell Timmy all the time, I can't wait till this rips off.
Oh, God. You're fucking nuts. I don't want that shit to happen.
What about you? Do you want? No. Right? Because I'm out. If I see
Yeah.
My bicep, I'm fine. If it's my humerus, a bone, I'm out.
Yeah,
A bone, I'm
I'm a
out.
bitch.
But my bicep, let's reattach that
How about
bitch.
you? You snap your arm.
I'm out for sure.
No question.
For sure.
But a bicep detachment? No.
Yeah, I'm still in.
Weirdly, yeah, that's not one I worry about. Of all the injuries, I guess it would be the one I worry about the most because
A
I'm
tear?
a tear. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm super bicep dependent, and I also let a lot of guys kind of get on my bicep
Yeah.
and rail for training.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even a littler guy, I've been at a point where I was like, ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
letting somebody go there and really
Yeah.
saw that thing down. It's like
Right.
It's a lot.
you tested my left last week.
Yeah.
In a way that made me go, okay, like my shit was fucked up till like yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know that I agree that you need an injury like
I don't think you need it, but I think
but I
it
do
definitely
think an
helps.
attachment is
Yeah, I think if
stronger.
it happens, then you have that doctor reattach it.
Yeah, I think it helps a lot.
That's next level. Yeah.
And you can,
Yeah.
and if the doctor was on your team and
Yes.
kind of attaching in such a way that you can continue to compete,
Yep.
that's pretty
That's
powerful.
nuts. But that's what you should find. Period. Anytime you're doing anything.
Well, especially if you're like Michael Todd.
Right, right.
Those guys.
I wonder what that surgery's like if they add material to it or if they just take the tendon where it's healthy and then anchor it just into your bone. Like, I wonder,
That's what, to my understanding, that's what they do.
they don't add new material to it? Like, do they make the tendon shorter? Is that what they're doing?
I don't
there?
think you want to because I think it prevents the healing. So I think you don't want anything really in there, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
So
yeah,
then they just shortened the time.
Well, I'm saying like if they use like mesh or something to go around, and then they come through that mesh, so that mesh attaches to your tendon.
Yeah.
But either way, if they're making it shorter,
Yep.
I mean that's
The back pressure.
yeah, your ability to just do this, which you can see these guys, they walk around, they can't straighten their arms.
We have guys on our team.
Dude,
Yeah,
insane.
and it's like your arm just wants to do this.
Yeah, 12 year guys like Ian on our team.
Yeah.
He looks like a fucking gunslinger. Walking.
Yeah, just walks around, giant forearms,
It's the perfect example.
like this.
Fresh
Like
as
he's
a
just,
T-Rex.
he's just,
And his arms are so long.
Yeah.
Compared to his body, they're so long.
yeah,
Yeah, and they're up here.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they're huge.
Yeah.
They are. He has thick arms. They're
yeah. The
insane.
forearms are massive, biceps are non-existent.
And Rush's hands look like
Mitts.
they're so crazy.
Yeah.
Like part of the training was slamming in the door.
Thick up.
Yeah, more.
That's more. He's like,
Yeah.
David, get over here.
Yeah. No, I don't want to do it. Come on. Yeah. Or he went to go train with the monks and how they do the slap.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
That's
just make their
hilarious.
hands iron fist. God, imagine that. Imagine people doing iron fist training for arm wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It's weird.
Damn.
Well, guys who work in concrete, their
Yeah.
hands
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
turned into blocks.
Yeah.
Because of the dryness and the hardness.
Yep. All day.
I bet you it has.
There's some
It would
effect
be
for
good
sure.
training.
Yeah.
It sounds painful.
Yeah.
Very painful.
I mean, you got the gypsies,
Yeah.
like Tom Aspinall,
Right.
who's going to fight John Jones, dipping
Right.
their hand in petrol
Right.
every night, soaking his hands. What? That is super cancerous.
Petrol?
I mean,
Yeah. Yep.
sounds like
Gypsy
that.
technique.
Work.
Crazy.
Sounds.
Yeah.
Sounds like work.
Sounds like work.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Talk about sacrifice.
Talk about sacrifice. But he's making millions.
Millions of dollars. Yeah, I'm soaking my hands.
I would do it.
There's levels, right?
Millions for
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I ain't doing it in this game.
No, not
No.
I mean, I already did it for years as a mechanic. So,
Yeah,
you know,
it's different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Basic bread.
Wicked. So yeah, King of Table, that was sick. Once again, way too long, as always.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, we're always gonna watch it and we're always gonna bitch about it. It's just way too long. I don't care how good the matches are, man. At some point, our brains are just like, like even if there's a great match coming up on the screen, we're just like, I just want to arm wrestle now, or
Yeah.
you know, I just want to go do something else for the rest of my day.
Every time by the time the main events arrive.
Every time. Yeah. And then it's like, well, you gotta, you know, it's like getting too drunk before the ball drops.
Yeah.
And you gotta like rally yourself up to, you know, that's kind of what it
But
feels
what's the
like.
solution? Because even in tournaments, this happens all the time with
Oh,
fans
in
and open.
Nah.
Tournaments is, I don't even think you can stop it in tournaments. But these Superman, I mean, just have more often, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, these
More often.
events.
Shorter cards.
Shorter cards more often. Yeah.
Or
For sure.
should it be a 2-day thing? You have your AMs, you have your
2-day thing.
You have your undercard.
Hey, 2-day
That's
thing.
smart.
I'm always for 2-day thing.
Yeah.
Just because my martial arts background, that's what happens because you just have way too many friggin' people.
Yep.
You know, but the 2-day thing, yeah, you have either the pros on the first day and the amateurs on the second day, or the other way around.
And all of these that are done in North America, they did do something really cool in this one where they put you on the prelims if you made it into the finals of every.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
Luis,
in the beginning.
Luis Vera, he was on. He was on TV. We were like, oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Right? Because he
that's
made it to
cool.
the finals.
Yeah.
Really cool touch. I would love if they did like the tournament on Saturday
Yeah.
and then the event on Sunday.
Yeah.
And just did the 6 main events.
Yeah. On that
6
Sunday,
is
yeah.
cool on Sunday. We all get together to watch it.
Yeah.
Really cool. Even if they aired the tournament on Saturday, saved the 5 weights, let's say, those guys to be on the undercard,
Right.
and air that early.
Right.
Great, cool, super cool. You guys could all have your little super match with the guy you're ending up against. Great. And then we could just watch the event. There's ways to do it. 2 days sounds totally normal.
Yeah. I think it's fine.
Yeah, WrestleMania these days is 2
2
days.
days. Yeah.
I think of UFC and UFC is technically one.
Yes, and UFC, if you started it at the prelims, would be an 8 to 9 hour day.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
each round you have roughly 3 rounds, 5 minutes, and then you have your main, which is 5 rounds.
Yeah.
I mean, the
And-
whole thing is way too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why the main card is 5 fights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They chop it down,
Big time.
and yeah.
Give us the option, but we're all just diehards there.
Yeah. So,
Well, the other thing is the UFC does a great job keeping you fucking engaged. The whole time.
yes.
It's like they have
Yeah.
interviews and behind the scenes and training and their
Storyline.
commercials, the
Mm-hmm.
storyline. And then they have, the cameras over the crowd and you feel like you're fucking there, especially at their house
So
because they have the speakers going and we're arm wrestling. So like we're entertaining ourselves. I don't know the last time that I just sat by myself and watched the UFC
Yeah.
because I would just be like,
Whoa.
We do it now different. Yeah.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
15 hours of.
Be embedded with the countdown.
Right,
That
yeah.
clock to it.
Yeah, but we love
Like,
watching
we're
that.
on
Like
wrestling,
that.
it's
Yeah,
insane.
That's
so good. Yeah.
That's
The King of the Table and East vs. West need to be doing
That's
those.
the
Yeah.
flash
Yeah.
pinnacle.
Yes. Yeah. That's what we want to do. And that's everybody should be doing this. You should be sending out small film crew to these guys and get like their last 2 weeks of training, do a vlog with them.
Yeah,
And then them flying over.
like we just did with Sky, we did them with myself.
Yeah. Just the interviews.
And,
Yep.
Those interviews now, if Sky has a match,
Oh, we're playing?
there's things to cut into
Yep.
it. Getting that opponent here early to do it, even the day before.
Right. Before the event. Yep.
Tough to take that footage and do anything with it raw.
Right.
But at these King of the Table levels,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And it'd be really nice to
Miss them
see
a
these
lot.
guys, how these guys train.
Yeah.
100%.
You know,
And just
like
live,
How they live.
Yeah.
We're
So I can relate.
Right. We want to relate to that because we know how it is being an arm wrestler. There's way more to the story than you see at the table. So let us in on that.
Yeah.
You know?
He's at the range with his wife.
Right.
There's his dog.
Yeah.
He's got a newborn son.
Right. Like I watch Kalina or Sergey Chikalyachenko.
Yeah.
I watch his videos every time he puts a video out. And it's so cool seeing him like in his apartment and he shows, I don't understand Russian, always have the subtitles on, but it's him, he's showing people like how he eats in this phase that he's in right now, how he trains, how he's helping other people train, does it the same way you do. Top level guy going into just a normal arm wrestling gym. Once again, this is a sport that you don't see it in other sports. Top guys training with
lower level.
off the street people.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So he's in there, he's showing people how to arm wrestle and showing them how they can help him train. It's insane. And he's just going through his shit and he just shows every day how his progress is. Some days he feels like shit. Other days he doesn't. Driving to the gym, which is a popular thing on YouTube right now with the fitness community, is like the car talk, right? Talking to your people while you're on the way. But like it humanizes people, which is what Flashman's trying to do. Is people are actually people outside of being an athlete, and people are interested in seeing that. So
because people are interested in relating.
Right. Like how King of the Table or East vs. West is not like paying for that content or saying like, hey, can we use some of that stuff for like our embeddeds before our events? What the fuck are we doing? If you don't want to spend the money to go out and send people to do it,
It's the syrup
ask
on the
them.
pancake.
Yes, it's the syrup on the pancake. Yeah.
And who the fuck is eating dry pancakes?
No, fuck no. The hell?
A crazy person. A crazy person.
Yeah.
This is good
It's-
stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you got it. Like, especially because they have the ability to do it too.
right. They have. Yeah, dude, they have it. It just takes a little bit more thought. I get.
I think they're going down that path. I think they have guys like Coach Ray,
Yeah.
like young guys like him who are kind of like sprinkling in like what it's gonna be like in the next 5 or 10 years. So I think we'll definitely see that.
Yeah.
But I think because you have the old school mix in there, they're probably not.
There's some speed bumps.
They're not seeing the future.
Right.
They're seeing it, but not as clear as someone like Kalyanchenko, who's putting that stuff out there.
Right.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of guys that are doing it, but like Dennis's group, they do it a lot. Those guys, vlog a lot, and they have tournaments all the time. Their production and cinematography is fucking great. Those like what was also happening, King of the Table, Havoc. Havoc.
Exactly.
Oh my god, that shit was fantastic.
Arm Havoc?
I think
it was on Havoc. Yeah.
That shit was great, you know. And these guys,
very flash pen.
oh yes, I was like, this is sick.
Yeah.
You know, and they're getting to that level. I think they can surpass with the embeds and the interviews and stuff like that. Just people aren't thinking about putting that stuff together. Definitely not stateside. I think we're the only people that are doing that.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm gonna keep going with it.
For sure.
It's so fun. It's the most fun. And right now I'm just doing it with my friends, and I talk to these people every single day. But when we sit and do these interviews, I'm finding out so much about them. It's fucking crazy. It's awesome.
Like Bedwell and that whole first time,
right?
Y'all were good, but y'all weren't like friends.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. No. Yeah.
Best friend. Now
you're really good friends.
Now because we're all on the same level. We went and trained with them. They know how we train and what our mindset is, and it matches theirs. Yeah, they were super respectful. Yeah,
Very, very cool.
yeah, it was super cool. So
We need to, that's kind of the next thing, right? To plan where we go.
Yep.
Go train with another group, even if it's just like Houston.
Yeah. Houston, Dallas.
Because to get that footage together and put together, say, Ryan and Bedwell too.
I personally think we should do some kind of honor towards Texas.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
TAL.
Yeah.
And do like an anniversary thing for TAL.
Yeah.
And help them out.
Yeah, we should get with Billy and try to figure something out with that for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, like doing a flash pin TAL thing? Is that what you guys talking about?
Kind of. Just something along the lines of honoring and helping and building and saying thank you to kind of where it first started for us, because
all of us come from TAL.
all started at TAL. And being like, because what's the day that started TAL? Does Billy have that written on a piece of paper somewhere?
I mean, it was before Billy.
It was before Billy.
Fair enough, okay.
And then he kind of took it over.
Speaking of Billy and the TAL, they're actually issuing to all the overall winners now of events one of these.
That's dope.
A TAL version of the table.
Yes.
I have one at my desk, and I absolutely love it.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so
Very,
cool.
very cool.
Hopefully somebody at some point can make little action figures that are
That'd be
standing
really
there
fucking cool.
with the locked hands.
Oh my god!
And
I'm getting that immediately.
You can move them to different positions. So like every day you're like,
I'm gonna be a freak and just leave them inside the box.
Yeah, definitely it should be heavier. I don't know if we can.
I use it for papers.
Yeah.
Right, like I hold papers in place.
Yes.
Or setting it up so that this holds your cards.
Yeah, a card holder in the middle. Yeah, that's cool.
Right now, it doesn't. It's not.
Yeah, little accessories.
But making it.
Hey, that's upselling right there for you, Magic Dragon Maker. You can have little accessories that go along with it. You know, you can have it prop up so it can. I think he's the one making them.
Or is it Combat Arms?
I think it's him.
Yeah, it's something affiliated.
Yeah. But
like a decent weight, but it could be heavier.
Yeah, it could be heavier. Yeah, holding down when I have too many papers, it's a little
flimsy.
But it is very, very cool. Because everybody that comes in my office, I get to slide off.
Oh my gosh.
Because they're like, what is this? I'm like, oh, it's what I arm wrestle on. They're like, no way, it's a real table. I'm like, well, not.
no. Come on.
And like half the people sit across from me and they go, come
And well, I was thinking of just
No way.
thumb up.
That's funny.
Yeah. Like, I have finger arm wrestle men in my office one. And if I close the door behind me, it would be weird.
That's great. Conversation starter.
Let's me bring it up.
That's awesome.
And
Maybe
this is
an
all.
extra mini one for keychains. That would be cute.
That's
Man.
really cute.
That's super
Yeah. Or even just the tabletop. For a keychain.
That'd be awesome.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be sick. That'd be super sick.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So you were telling us about a guy you've also watched on YouTube earlier.
So
Brian Shaw effect.
Brian Shaw and Eddie All, kind of influenced this guy. His channel is Cult Strength on YouTube, and he's a guy out of Australia, and tattooed all over his face. Huge dude. Big boy. He's a power lifter.
Polynesian guy, like
No, but he trains with Polynesian dudes. He's just a white dude, but into heavy metal, blah blah blah, whatever. Really cool, very informative. His training methods are fantastic. That's why I watch him.
Yep.
He's all about getting stronger. Was never really about putting on muscle size. He just wanted to get strong. So he watched the Eddie Hall Brian Shaw match, and he's like, I'm getting into arm wrestling. So he started making videos about it. He put up a video. This is I'm paraphrasing, but it was like, starting my arm wrestling training journey, right? And I was like, oh shit. So I was watching the video, and he had really good lifts he was doing. I was like, oh, started with stretching, doing all the mobility work. I was like,
That's
whoever is in this dude's ear knows what the fuck's up.
Yeah.
So I sent a message. I just commented on the video. I was like, this is fantastic. Since you're in Australia, you should definitely be hitting up Lachlan Adair. I think he's the guy that can give you the best opportunity to be great at arm wrestling.
Yeah.
And he's like, he wrote back, ha ha ha, that's actually who wrote my training program. And I was like, sick. I was like, this is great. The only thing I could say is you have to get on the table. I know he lives 10 hours from you, but you have to find a way to get on the table.
Yeah.
He puts out a video, 2 videos later, he puts out videos with Sydney arm wrestling team. And I'm like, oh shit, here we go. He gets to get on the table. He has these guys on the table, and they're giving some of the best instructions, like what we do.
Oh, that's
at
great.
practice.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, these guys are probably top 2% in the world of instructing you on how to arm wrestle correctly. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You go and watch the way that these guys are teaching him how to arm wrestle. One of the older guys grabbed his hand, said, let's lift your elbow off the table. He's like, no, I just want you to like pull me. Like we're doing one arm tug of war.
Yeah.
So he's like, you feel that? And he's like, yeah, I can feel like my hand kind of open up. So he's going through trying to teach him like, this is what you need to be feeling.
Yeah.
Before we get on the pad and table and you start getting in weird positions, this is what you need to feel. These are the pressure you need to feel.
yeah.
The guy's mind is blown. You can see on his face that he just has that mindset of like, he's been like devoured by the bug.
Yeah.
Like he's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So he invites one of the guys, one of the younger guys. He's Sydney's 220 champ, I think.
Okay.
Comes to do what's that?
Powerlifter guys, the main guy.
Yeah.
You know how big
Heavy, super heavy.
Oh, super heavyweight.
Okay.
Yeah. So he invites that guy over to train at his house in his garage, and they're going through lifts, and the guy, he's doing like pronation, supination, wrist work, finger work, failing. Like he's like, oh my God, like how do you even do? And the guy's much smaller than him. It's like a 375 versus a 220 guy, but the 220, he's arm wrestling tendons, right?
Oh,
and he's just, and the Cult Strength dude is just like,
Mind's blown away.
Insane.
Yeah.
He's like, but fuck yeah. Like I'm gonna be fucking crushing this shit. And I'm just
In
like,
his brain, he's like a new lift.
yes. He's like, oh, this is fucking awesome. And he was talking about the bicep training as he's never done it before. He's like, I never focused on my arms. Because he's like, I'm pushing. Like push is my favorite thing. He's got a huge bench, whatever, but he's like, I never focused on hammer curls or anything like that. And he's like, it gets tired really fast. Like and I don't feel that strong with it, especially trying to keep my hand and wrist and all my fingers, all that. And the guy's like, it's you'll get there, but it's a lot. It's a lot. So
Check out his page.
check him out. Cult Strength, man.
New journeys like
Yeah, it's super cool.
We will.
Yeah. The dude's cool as fuck. And that match had some reach, right? Like that guy has. Oh. No, I can't even say because I see 200K followers in my head and then I see 600K. It might be 600,000.
Well, if it's over 200, that's pretty crazy.
I'm gonna look right now. It's over 200. Hold on, let me look.
That means Shaw Strength had reach.
Let me look. Yeah, because I want to ask him like what. I mean, he obviously follows all the strongmen, so that's probably how he saw it.
How he
Hold on, give me 1 second.
If he goes to a tournament and competes,
Do you think strongman and like powerlifting are the most transitional people into the sport?
Probably.
Just because of everything in their original.
Because of their hand. Their hand. They have strong hand.
Okay.
You know.
Oh yeah, he's big.
Yeah. And that's probably the number one thing.
Like, Larry Wheels is so weird because he also has the bodybuilding. Bodybuilding, you see no one because they don't have.
But
Larry's just a freak.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was that middle guy.
Yeah, I mean.
So the cool thing at the end was he asked the arm wrestler, like, dude, if you want to come back here and train, and I'll teach you how to do the powerlifting moves or learn how to bench more correctly, because like most people, heavy bench scares a lot of people because of shoulders, right? And he's like, no, I'll show you how to keep it out of there to get and keep you strong and also get your shoulders stronger. But, you know, so he's willing to, you know, be taught, and then teach and build that fucking friendship. Because I'm telling you, man, if you see the way that he's doing these movements and all that, you can see what we all felt when we fucking found Almost. And it's so cool to see that.
Of course.
Like on
the coolest thing.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. I love that aspect of my training now when I'm on my table at home doing pulley stuff. I'm like, oh, this stupid game, right?
Yeah.
Like the handles that I got you guys for Christmas, which should be here anytime now. But they're so arm wrestling specific. How they target the hand is, man, looking at the discrepancy between my hands, it's obnoxious.
That's crazy.
My left, what it's capable of containing compared to my right containment.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Next one.
Astronomically. So the gain you can get is, I mean, finding your hole, right? I think that would be a good thing to sign off on, guys, is find your hole. What is the weakest part of your game?
100%.
Your weak chain. And I look at chains as fingers, wrist, bicep, shoulder, right? And like, as I elbow being bicep, but as I like target your fingers, if you're able to attack the fingers through the wrist, and I can get to here and try and bust your wrist, or I can move you through your outside your shoulder, you come around, you leave the bicep alone, I attack the bicep to lengthen this, you use the bicep to defend, I go back to the fingers. This is this fun game that we finally all start playing when we understand that's all part of the gig.
Right.
And knowing what your weakness is, like for me, my wrist is retarded strong. My finger containment had been where I was weaker. And now I'm working my containment so much more that I'm like, oh, what if that becomes really strong?
Right.
My biceps retarded strong.
Right.
My shoulders are oversized. Okay, cool. How do I transfer that into side pressure? Because now I can maintain containment here. I can go sideways without busting my wrist back. Like this game's crazy.
It
That's
is.
the things like you get to see for sure with him.
Yeah, definitely.
Is he does a lift and he's like, you feel probation for the first time where you're strong in it, and you're like,
this is great.
Oh man, I mean, so it's one thing to find your strength, but a whole nother when you've been around long enough and especially competed tournaments, any kind of events where you touch different hands, especially guys that are better, you'll see things get exploited on yourself. Right. Like Luis exploited the fuck out of my hand due to height. And it was like, I had to turn that in any way I could. And I didn't even know how to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And now we do that now. Turn inside it. Yeah, and it makes you way stronger.
Way stronger.
You know.
So find your holes, guys. Look in the mirror at yourself. Look at your lifts. Those numbers don't lie to you.
They don't. And yeah, that's why you should keep track of them.
You should absolutely understand them.
And also understand those chains, right? Arm wrestling, biggest thing I could say in arm wrestling right now is stability, right? If your shoulder joints and elbow and wrist joints are not stable, well, that's because you're probably not training the antagonist side, right? So in your wrist, it would be your extensors. Yeah. So it's like, well, to keep your shoulder strong, you need to have big scapula traps and chest, right? If that stops this, right? If you want to have strong elbow, well, that's flexors in your elbow, not just in flexion, but in extension, right? So there's more
Actually,
places
one can only be
as strong as the other.
an amount more.
Yep.
But like obviously one can be stronger.
Well,
but it's hindered.
Yeah, you're only as strong as the weakest link, and if your extensors are, the extension is not as strong, if your extension is not strong enough, your flexion will not get any stronger. So you have to, at some point, when you plateau from keeping your numbers, you have to start putting in accessories that work the other side of the muscle group.
If your numbers are great, and then you get on the table and you're freaking losing, it's your mind because you're not on the table enough. So,
that's a great point.
Yeah, you have to make that connection.
I think this is especially for newer pullers, like guys who have been in the game for a few months to like maybe 2 to 3 years. What I see is guys are just focusing on lifts.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like,
we have one on
dude, you need a deadlift. You need a squat. You need a bench.
You do.
You know, and I think the thing with this sport is that they are deceived by watching guys like Devin
who's been doing it for 20
watching
years.
or hearing guys like John.
Right.
John is a fucking anomaly.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Meet John's thumb.
But the thing is that not a lot of people truly, like if you haven't done any sort of competition when you were younger and then you start competing in your 20s or 30s, you don't understand the mental aspect of a competition or about competition. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Like I've been like me, I've been competing in martial arts since I was a kid and been, you know, so to say that and to do it is like way different.
It's completely different.
You know?
Yeah. Getting guys involved in competing early is so smart.
It's the smartest thing. And don't over fucking complicate it. Don't. Like, do the basic shit. Just like you said, the big four. Just, you know, my fourth is always overhead military press, overhead press. I think shoulders, for me, are something that I've always been working on because I got rotator cuff surgery. So I've always been afraid of not being able to have mobility in my shoulders. So I always want to make everything that's been injured in the past as strong as possible.
Well, if you look at John, that's what John has been suffering, and John is suffering from shoulder pain not because he just been competing. John has never lifted anything over his head, probably 100 pounds.
That's the balance.
You know,
major.
It's the biggest, which it almost the same as these guys like Devin and everybody that have been injured in the past. They overgrew muscles and didn't grow the other ones, right? The ones that contribute to actually moving those prime movers. Your body. And guess what? Let's go. You know, it's too strong, right? So do the normal lifts, keep it fucking simple. If you want to do some of these, you know, whatever lifts, cool. But that's something that you do. Keep it low. You know, your wrist, that motherfucker's very fragile.
And the thing too is that it's a feel. But I think a lot of people are getting deceived by these lifts. Is they're just thinking, oh, if I throw it around my thumb and go like that, then I'm pronating. It's like, no, you're not really pronating. If you're not feeling it come down here and you're not pronating shit. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough to follow the heads of this sport that only do these very specific lifts.
And that's it.
Like someone like Michael Todd. You're not watching him deadlift. Michael Todd is incredibly fit.
He's probably the most athletic arm wrestler in the world.
He's up there. He's up there.
Absolutely. My biggest surprise in him was you are a full-born athlete. Like, and he trains everything. For sure.
He deadlifts, he squats, he just jumping fucking squats onto the table.
Michael, we really need you to tell other guys this. Like,
put that information out there.
Right? Box jumps. Box jumps. Like, I'm not afraid to get under a bar and shoulder.
Shoulder press, I mean, back extension, leg extensions. You cannot arm wrestle without your feet on the fucking ground. Now, if you're disabled, that's one thing. They'll strap you to the table, whatever. Or if you're in a wheelchair, tables at this height, that's fine. But people that have legs and you're arm wrestling,
get them things.
Fucking squat.
You need ground force reaction.
You have to. You have to be able to push off the ground. And you need.
You can push off the table.
Yeah.
Make them stronger.
Look
so
at
this
Carolina.
is amazing.
Right, look at Carolina. Yeah.
She's all over the place.
Yeah, you gotta move. You gotta move.
And I love that.
Yeah.
We're all learning to move.
Yes, yeah.
Big time.
Anyway,
With that
that's
said,
the end.
guys,
Awesome.
It was great.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all next time.
and a happy new year. Let's kick this thing off right.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
Even if you want to say some bad shit, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna probably say some bad shit back to you. But yeah. We'll see y'all.